Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Sacred Sisterhood Podcast. My name is Mary Wright. I am your show host, and today we are talking about 3 things that you need to know to feel powerful and authentic in your soul service. So number 1, let's just get right to it. Life experience. Life experience is your own personal wisdom from everything that you've experienced, the lessons that you've experienced in your life or in past lives that you remember. So this is where we extract the medicine from our life lessons. You know, in the light working field, generally, we are helping those that are a few steps behind us on the pathway home to ourselves, to God, to enlightenment, to Creator, Source, Spirit, however you want to say it. And so we are the way showers. So if you haven't already walked that pathway and you're trying to help people through said pathway, it's going to be a mess. You know, for example, if you are coaching people on how to overcome toxic relationships and you've never experienced a toxic relationship firsthand, you're going to have a really, really hard time having empathy and understanding your client. You become not able to relate to what your client is experiencing. So how can you expect yourself to be able to hold a clean space for the client? Or say that you are coaching people on overcoming toxic relationships, but you are currently in a toxic relationship yourself. You are not in a position of authority then to be helping someone through one as well. You know, so having life experience makes it so that you can speak authentically to the subject, so that you can say, hey, I've already been through this. Now I can be a guiding light for those that are experiencing it too, to help them to the other side. And people can feel if you're being real. People will not be vibrationally attracted to a coach, a light worker, a healer if they aren't anchored in that frequency that they are promising to deliver. You know, so if you're creating content and offering to help others with their self-worth, but you have yet to have a handle of your own self-worth and you're regularly spinning out in self-doubt and, you know, you continue to make choices that harm yourself, that are choices from someone that is not honoring themselves, you cannot, within integrity, be coaching someone on self-worth. It's not a clean energy that's being transmitted. And I'm not saying that you have to be perfect in the subject. That is definitely not what I'm saying at all. But you do need to know on a cellular level what it takes to continue to lean in and do the work. There's always going to be a next level to hit when it comes to healing. You know, it's like a healing spiral, right? So when it comes to working on our worth, working on our self-love, you can't speak to that subject if you're getting caught up in the spirals constantly and you're not actually making growth in it. So, you know, you could be trained on how to help someone through self-worth, but if you are continuously making decisions from low self-worth, you are not a clean container to be able to hold someone in their transformation. So this leads me into the next piece. Number 2 is training. So there's a lot of baby lightworkers that are heading out into the field of lightworking without any sort of training and only on life experience alone. So yes, there are some, you know, intuitive channeled modalities that can't be trained. You know, some of the modalities that I use in my work have come to me straight from Source, straight from God. However, there needs to be an understanding of how energy works. There needs to be an understanding of how to hold space for someone. There needs to be modalities that you are trained in so that, quite frankly, you don't fuck someone up. Because if you're going into the lightworking world, the healing world, with no training and only on life experience alone, it is super, super out of integrity because you're going to have a hard time attracting clients who are willing to pay you for your services if you're not willing to invest in your own healing, your own upgrades, your own training, your own schooling, coaching, mentoring, etc. You know? So it is so, so important to be continuing on your education within the lightworking field of investing in mentorship, investing in workshops, in seminars, in certifications, in schoolings, etc., so that you become a wealth of knowledge, that you have received training backed up with the life experience that you have. I have invested well over $30,000 in the last 4 years in workshops, in training, seminars, coaching, schoolings, so that the frequency that I promise to deliver to a client is clean. Because what you want is that as soon as a client says yes to working with you, as soon as they sign a contract, that there is an energetic exchange, that there's an alchemy already taking place because of the level of frequency, the level of coding that you carry around the subject, that as a client steps into your field, they immediately begin to get activated. That's like the goal of feeling super powerful in the work that you deliver, is that even before you literally step into like a face-to-face meeting with this client, they've already, you've already had your discovery call, they've already said yes, they've signed the paperwork, they are already receiving activation because they have agreed to step in to that frequency that you transmit. They're already beginning to receive it. So training and life experience, they go hand in hand. One without the other just doesn't go very far. It's kind of like, this is going to be completely a totally weird example, but for me, I do not like to have red wine without dark chocolate. And I also do not like to have dark chocolate without red wine. They complement each other so well that if I just have one or the other, it feels incomplete. The whole experience is amazing when I have both of them together. And so it's like the same with training and life experience. A light worker that has a lot of life experience is great. However, if they don't have training to back them up, there's none of that masculine support, that masculine container to be able to hold their clients in. Whereas if you have someone that is just pure, they've certified the heck out of themselves, they have received all of these trainings, all of these certifications, but they don't have the life experience to back them up, people are going to feel that as well. People are going to feel that there's an incongruency with what it is that they're teaching, and they just aren't going to resonate with that. And that's the thing too, because the light working industry has blown up so much. Everybody and their dog is a life coach or a mentor or meditation teacher, whatever, yoga teacher. There's so many people. There's an abundance of people in this field offering their services. What stands you out from other people is being very authentic in what you're offering and being real as fuck in what you're offering. And so that's where that combination of the training and life experience goes hand in hand. So yeah, complementing the two, complementing training and life experience makes you a powerhouse, and your soulmate client can feel that. The energy that you're transmitting is, yes, I know I have the masculine support, like I have the training, the credentials, and I also have the energy, the frequency, that feminine aspect of the experience to combine together. So it's a very, very powerful frequency that you're transmitting through the work that you're offering. And that's what attracts in your soulmate client. So number 3, the third thing that you need to know to feel completely powerful and authentic as F in your soul service is be committed to embodying what you're teaching and serving on. So basically what this means is practice what you preach. I had a conversation with a friend the other day who had said that there's so much noise on social media, and she's so sick of seeing people preaching on, what you need to eat, what you need to do to start your morning, da-da-da-da-da. And offline, she knows what types of people they are, and she says they are hot messes, and not like I said, not like the good hot messes, because I think that Hot Mess Express is relatable because we are humans. We're all having a human experience and doing the best that we can each day in, day out when we are experiencing such intensity on a collective scale. But what I mean by she says that she knows that they don't have their shit sorted in their life, they are chaotic. And so it's just out of integrity. It's not a clean energy that you're transmitting if you're saying one thing and operating from a completely different place. And let's kind of loop back into that Hot Mess Express. So think about the whole, the ideal spiritual person on Instagram, one of those Instagram influencers who appears to be some sort of perfect guru who, she's up at sunrise and has all of her celery juicing done and her meditation and her breath work, and she's got everything done in order. And then, she runs a super successful spiritual business. And then in the evening, she's like swimming in the ocean or whatever, which is great, but it's not relatable. We see these women and these people that have built really successful businesses for themselves online, and they're putting like a very performative, idealistic view of what spirituality looks like. That like, if you have coffee, you're not spiritual. If you eat meat, you're not spiritual. They like kind of create this really unrelatable expectations of what spirituality looks like. And it creates like this image of perfection that can make someone feel unworthy, that in their own spiritual practice can feel unworthy in their own way that they're showing up. They might think that, okay, well, because I'm naturally a night owl and I'm usually up until like 3:00 in the morning and sleep until 10, does that mean that I can't be successful? And no, that's not the case. So this is why I had said hot mess express, but not in a good way. I am all for being relatable and human and sharing where I'm like a hot mess express, because that's how your soulmate client connects to you, right? You're not like preaching about perfection. You're like teaching and embodying. You're practicing what you preach, but you also know that it's not in perfection. Like there is no perfection. There's no like idealistic way to do things, right? So long-winded story short, what I'm trying to say is, for example, if you are preaching about being authentic and you're not authentic yourself, then you're transmitting a super icky, unclean, out of integrity energy. So be sure that in your mission statement, what you are promising to serve others on is something that you are fully anchored in that frequency yourself, which is a combination of life experience, of personal wisdom, of the training you have received, and you are fully embodying that on a cellular level, that you are what you are helping others on. Because when a potential client wants to step into your field, they are investing in that frequency that you're already anchored in, because you're few steps. You're basically holding the embodiment of what they want to stretch into, what they're wanting to grow into. So you have to be very, very with intention and integrity of what it is that you're offering. Like you will not attract clients to receive the medicine that you're offering to receive unless if you are fully embodied in that medicine that you're promising to deliver. It's a distorted frequency that you're sending out otherwise that people won't resonate with and won't be attracted to, because they can feel that you're not being real, which is why you have to be very, very clear about your mission statement, about who it is that you are serve and how you can help them. And in order to be able to help them, you need to be embodied in what it is that you're promising to deliver. Simple as that. So this is why it can be quite dangerous when you see a huge influx of baby light workers coming into the field that are regurgitating other people's teachings, that are regurgitating other people's messagings, other people's mission statements. And that is kind of like the normal path of the baby light worker, because they are so open and receptible, and they've got like these goggles on that it's like, oh my God, yes, like I want to create a fully successful, sustainable business, healing others and serving others. And so they're very much like a sponge. They're so impressionable, and so they're taking in all of this information from all these other people. But it's dangerous because they haven't yet identified what their own unique voice is. And so it just adds to the noise and the static in the lightworking community. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to be perfect. You do not have to be perfect. This is where being a hot mess express is extremely relatable, because do people relate to Hollywood celebrities? No, they live a totally different experience than the rest of us, right? And, there's these spiritual new age influencers that who are, I was speaking before, that they show this like idealistic version of reality that honestly is not relatable to a lot of people. A lot of people still are working, full-time jobs, working for somebody else, or they have kids, or, they don't have the luxury of being able to move abroad like myself. I live abroad. I have that luxury because I married someone that lives in another country, so I feel it's very important to be relatable, to show your humanness, and to not be perfect. Um, However, you have to be fully embodied in what it is that you're teaching, what it is that you are helping others with. I mentor women on how to feel powerful as fuck and how to be authentic in their soul service. And of course, this mission statement, it's shifted a little bit over the last couple of years as I have evolved, but that core mission statement is pretty well the same, of being powerful in what you deliver, being powerful, feeling confident in how you show up to the world, not dimming your light to accommodate others, and showing up and doing what you came here to do, being in alignment with your soul purpose. So why is this my mission statement? This is my mission statement because this is the frequency I embody, because I hold that deep, deep wisdom within me from many, many lifetimes of carrying the priestess and witch wound and overcoming it in this lifetime. I'm a Scorpio sun, so I am queen of death and rebirth. And I know what it takes to walk through the fires of initiation. I know what it takes to be in that underworld, tumultuous tides that strip you down to your bare essence so that you can be reborn again as a purer version of yourself, as a greater embodiment of your higher self, so that you can confidently show up to the world with what you have to offer it. I couldn't speak to this subject if I wasn't doing the work, if I wasn't fully embodied in what I teach. It would be out of integrity, and it would be a unclean energy that I'm transmitting. And people would feel that. My life experience, I did not have an easy teenage and young adulthood life. I made choices from a very, very pain-embedded place that created a lot of suffering in my life. And I thought that I was the victim of my reality, that life was happening to me, not for me. And so I chose time and time again to anchor in the identity that I was not lovable, that I was not safe, and that I was not worthy. And once I began to break out of that in my early 20s, I had a lot of work to recondition, to reprogram my mind, to love myself, to heal myself. Like, I very, very deeply know what it takes to recreate yourself over and over and over again so that you can continue to grow and up level and activate yourselves into new levels of who you are here to be, of your higher self, Combining that with a wide buffet of training and schooling of different modalities and teachings that helps empower one to be their best self, ranging from the science of, the neural linguistic programming, creating new neural pathways, ranging to studying under a shaman to be able to offer shamanic healing to my clients, to building a conscious business in the divine feminine healing arts, to ancient Egyptian mystery school teachings that I'm currently studying in. I'm currently in a tantric rose mystery school that teaches the goddess Isis modalities and like the teachings that are within her lineage. So all of this is like a perfect elixir of transformation for myself and for my clients. And not to mention, I have invested very heavily in multiple different coaches, mentors, and healers along the way. And so all of this combined, does this mean that I don't have days of self-doubt and not wanting to be seen? Of course not. Of course not. There are days that I am faced off with those old versions of myself, that younger, unhealed maiden version of myself that says that she's not, that what she has to say isn't worth hearing. So those are the days that I know I need to go deeper. Those are the days where I know it's just an old story that's coming up to be witnessed, loved, and integrated. And this is where practicing what I preach goes into play. where if I have a morning where I'm swampy in these old stories, that tells me that that's where my focus is to be that day, to reprogram, to work with my energy field, to shift and realign. And it's just an invitation to go deeper so that I hold the keys of greater activation for my clients because I know what it takes to go through that myself time and time again. Every glass ceiling a person hits, they will meet the old versions of themselves that are embedded into their subconscious, that are embedded into their cellular memory that says it's safer to stay within the comfort zone. It doesn't matter how trained you are. It doesn't matter how much life experience you have. It doesn't matter who you are. You will face off with this each and every glass ceiling that you hit. But it's up to you to decide, are you going to give those old versions of yourself your power or not? Or are you going to lean in, alchemize it, shift, and align with that next version of yourself, letting her lead you, letting her, who's already broken through the glass ceiling, lead you through this glass ceiling break so that you can embody that next version, okay? So what I'm trying to say is to be clean in the energy that you're transmitting. Be authentic. Be in integrity. Take a fine-tooth comb through everything that you are holding in your field to see, hey, where am I not currently operating from what I am mentoring people to operate in, right? So that the energy that you transmit is clean, so that you feel powerful as fuck in your work because you are that perfect combination of life's wisdom, training, and embodiment of what you offer. And you are relatable so that your soulmate clients hear you, so that they feel you, so that they are drawn to your unique offering and medicine. You do yourself and you do them a disservice by taking on other people's messaging as your own because you don't believe in your own messaging to be good enough to take up space. Boom. Mic drop. So that's all that I have today. I wanted to just give you guys a bit of an update as to what's going on and what I'm currently offering. I currently do have private mentorship spots available. I am offering them on sale right now, so you can just take a look at my website, maryjcoaching.com, to see what I'm offering. That's going to be changing here soon. In the springtime, I will be birthing a new signature private coaching offering. And I am currently offering my Shamanic Healings on sale for only 55 euros right now. Normally they're 88 euros, but I am offering them for 55 euros. This is like a fantastic spring cleanup for your energy field. So if you're feeling stagnant, stuck, out of your power, if you've been holding on to a lot of grief, or just like you really just seeking a big, like an energy boost, a power boost, these Shamanic Healings will definitely serve you. I absolutely love doing them. I always get off of a call just so incredibly uplifted and just so in awe of Spirit's work. And I also am in the process of gestating on a new group immersion, a 6-week group immersion called Soul Series. I'm not going to speak any more to it now because it is in the very beginning. I'm just starting to build out the website for it. So stay tuned on that. If you're not signed up for my mailing list so that you can be always in the know of what's happening, I will make sure I leave the link in the show notes for you to sign up for my mail list, as well as the link to book in a shamanic healing for 55 euros. So I love you all. I honor you for the work that you are doing, and thank you for being real as fuck. Have a beautiful rest of your week.